Welcome everybody, we have this question. We are expected to find the value of x. So foremost what I wish to do is I would like to cross multiply this. I get 16 raised to the power of x negative 4 raised to the power of x is equal to 4 times of 6 raised to the power of x negative 3 raised to the power of x. Now if you see the left side, this is increasing function. If you see the right side, this is also an increasing function. So these two functions can only intersect at one point. That is what I am going to state here. Okay, on observation, we see that the left hand side and right hand side are two increasing functions. Right, so this means the graphs will intersect at exactly one point. This means there exists just one value of x satisfying the equation or the system. Okay, so the question is, what is that value going to be? So I am going to consider 16 raised to the power of x negative 4 raised to the power of x is equal to 4 times of 6 raised to the power of x negative 3 raised to the power of x. Now the right hand side I am going to write it as 2 times 3 raised to the power of x negative 3 power x. Now this can be further rewritten as 2 raised to the power of x times 3 raised to the power of x negative 3 raised to the power of x. I can take 3 raised to the power of x out, so I get 2 raised to the power of x negative 1. Okay, so on the left side, this is 16 raised to the power of x. I'm going to write it as 4 squared raised to the power of x negative 4 raised to the power of x. Now, if I were to take 4 raised to the power of x out, I will have 4 raised to the power of x negative 1, right? Now, this 4 raised to the power of x, I'm going to write it as 2 squared raised to the power of x negative 1. Of course, you have a 4 raised to the power of x there. Now, can I write this as 2 raised to the power of x the whole squared negative 1 times 4 raised to the power of x? Is it possible? Of course, I can write. So I want to just write the right hand side. 4 times 3 raised to the power of x times 2 raised to the power of x negative 1. Now this is of the form a squared negative b squared, which is going to be a negative b times a positive b. So this in turn would mean this is going to be 2 raised to the power of x negative 1 times 2 raised to the power of x positive 1. Of course you have 4 raised to the power of x there. Now let me move to the next side. So what do I have? I have 4 raised to the power of x times 2 raised to the power of x negative 1 times 2 raised to the power of x positive 1 is equal to 4 times 3 raised to the power of x times 2 raised to the power of x negative 1. Now 2 raised to the power of x negative 1 and 2 raised to the power of x negative 1 can be cancelled, giving me 4 raised to the power of x is equal to this 2 raised to the power of x positive 1. Okay, so now I want to bring this 4 down. So that means I have 4 raised to the power of x divided by 4 times 2 raised to the power of x positive 1 is equal to 3 raised to the power of x multiplied. There is nothing to multiply there because I already pushed the 4 down. Now if we have something like this, a raised to the power of m divided by a raised to the power of n, I can move this to the numerator and rewrite this as a raised to the power of negative n times m. Further down I can rewrite it as a raised to the power of m negative n. Right, all of these things are possible. So that's exactly what I'm going to do. So this is going to be 4 raised to the power of x negative 1 times 2 raised to the power of x positive 1 is equal to 3 raised to the power of x. Okay, this is what I've got. Now using the concept of guess and check, I need to figure out the value of x for which the left hand side is equal to right hand side. Okay. Now clearly on a basic observation I can just plot x or substitute x is equal to 1. Okay, so for x is equal to 1, what do I get? I get 4 raised to the power of 1 negative 1 times 2 raised to the power of 1 positive 1 is equal to 3 raised to the power of 1. Now what is this? This is 4 raised to the power of 0. And what is this? This is 2 positive 1. And what is this? This is 3. 4 raised to the power of 1, 4 raised to the power of 0 gives me 1. That is multiplied with 3 is equal to 3. 1 times 3 gives me 3. I have a 3 on the right hand side. So left hand side is equal to right hand side. This means x is equal to 1 is the only possible solution, okay, for the system. We don't need to exhaust other possibilities, right? Because you have to understand, every time you execute other possibilities, you are actually exhausting time, and with the time resources, and when you talk about resources, the money becomes a vital commodity there. So you need to ensure that you are hitting the solution in the minimal possible time and effort.